Hi there and welcome to Gardening with Gutner. I'm your host, Todd Gutner. Thanks for joining us on our gardening journey. Today we're talking about some of the first flowers that many gardeners deal with each season. They're annuals, especially for containers and hanging baskets. We visited a few local greenhouses to get expert advice on keeping those flowers thriving all summer long. First up, Tom Estabrook. Tom's got some great ideas for creative container alternatives, plus the lowdown on hangers and how to keep them looking beautiful through the hot summer. It's Memorial Day weekend, the garden centers are filling up, and I'm stocking up. I've got my old standbys here, and this is the man I'm looking for, Tom Estabrook. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.
You know, I've got the traditionals. I'm kind of conservative. I'd like you to spice my life up a little bit. What do you got for us this season?
Well, I think, houseplants would be a great way to go. It's
interesting.
New trend. A lot of people are using houseplants.
In what way?
Well, out in their containers.
Okay.
So not just indoors, it's been a trend inside for a long time, but, look at this beautiful rubber plant here. Nice, beautiful variegation on it.
Leaves. Yeah,
if you were going to do kind of a white theme, you might take this along with a beautiful agapanthus. In a container, and then add the angel wings.
Oh, pretty.
And you can see how you have a beautiful white theme.
That's great. I love that.
Simple, easy.
Now, what other trends are you seeing? You mentioned at some point tropicals. Maine is not a tropical place.
No.
How is that possible?
So here we are, we're Memorial, we're starting to get warm, right? Yeah. It's been a cold spring, but now we're going to go into June. We're going to start getting in the 70s and 80s. July, we're going to be in the 80s and 90s, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Right?
You promising that?
Well, you're the weather guy, so, but... when we talk tropicals, they give you a long bloom, a big bang for your buck. Yeah. So, you look at Mandevilla is a great option. Here's a white one. They come in pinks and reds. That's a great way.
That'll grow. That's got some height to it, too. And you can train it, right?
We have bush form and we have vining form. So depending on what you're looking for, we have a couple different forms.
Hibiscus is another?
Yep. So here's, hibiscus. They come in a ton of beautiful colors.
Love them.
This is a nice yellow. They come in oranges, reds, pinks, a whole bunch.
So these are the annuals. You've got a ton of hangers, including this one here.
Yeah.
I've always struggled with hangers. Let's talk about these a little bit. I need your advice.
Absolutely. So hanging baskets, they can be troublesome because it's tough to keep them watered. So think about using them in big containers. So you can take this hanging basket off and plant one of these right in a big container on the patio and you're done. You don't have to buy all these little pots.
It's already done for you.
It's already done for you. We've done all the mixing. The plants work well together, and they're just going to continue to fill out. Also, don't think that this hanging basket is going to go the whole summer. It's not.
Okay.
It's just not realistic. These have been planted since February, or March, and you outgrow the soil in this pot. So when you start to have trouble watering them and keeping up with the water, pop them into a big container or put them in the ground. And it's going to give you a bang for your buck all summer, and just pop back to your local garden center and buy a new basket that has been planted for summer.
Awesome advice. Yeah. So your garden centers, they are ready for you. This is Estabrook's in Yarmouth. It looks beautiful, by the way. Have a great season, and we'll be checking in with you quite a bit. So that's annuals and that's hangers. And you can get all that info on our website or our mobile app. Next, we head to Young's Greenhouse in South Paris. Ben Young shared some tough, drought-resistant options that can take a beating from the wind. Plus, he talked about the big comeback of the Martha Washington geranium. My carriage has arrived, only this time I'm not heading to an elaborate ball. I'm meeting my date, Ben, from Young's Greenhouse. Ben, great to see you again.
Yes, good seeing you again.
We're not doing that big elaborate ball thing, are we?
No,
okay, that's good, because I don't really like to dance that much.
Me neither. That makes two of us.
All right, yes. We got something in common for sure. Other things we have in common are some beautiful annuals. You've got some tips for some containers here.
Yes. These are a lot of your non-essential, they're not your common accent plants.
Okay.
You got a lot of mountain ones on this side of the table.
Yeah.
Like over here, you got some coleuses.
Yep,
the nice thing about coleus, they're going to get taller than your impatiens and petunias, and they'll give you always some nice different texture and color, and they make so many different color leaves of coleus.
Okay, so you got options,
Yes, you got a lot of options.
Okay.
But then you always have zinnias and dahlias.
Dahlias
they're just
so cool.
They're just a great little cut flower, and they give you so much color on you. But then also, one of your best things is sun patients.
This is a sun patient.
Yes.
Right. What's so great about a sun
patients, they will get huge.
Huge?
You're talking about 2 feet all the way around.
Well, that's like 4 times the size of this.
Yes.
Wow, that is large.
And so they will, and landscapers love them because they can be neglected. Like that plant can be withered right over, and you water it and it will pop right back up to life. And you won't
keep
notice.
blooming and everything.
It'll keep blooming. It won't hurt the blooms or nothing really.
Oh, that's great to know.
So that's what makes sun patients awesome.
Okay.
So if we jump over here, you got some nice accents that will trail. So you got potato vines up here.
I love potato vine. The color,
the
it's
color
so vibrant.
It pops your blossoms and everything.
Because it doesn't have a blossom.
No,
Right.
It's not known for a blossom or nothing.
Okay.
But it's the accents of the leaves.
Cool.
But then if you do want some blossoms, you got Tarina, which does really good.
Yeah.
But then you also got Scaviola.
So this is Scaviola, right?
Which landscapers love because it takes the wind awesome.
So that's so interesting you say that, because a lot of people have emailed me and messaged me like, has it been windier the last few years? And I actually agree with them. I think it has been. I think we get more wind.
It definitely has,
So this is what you want to know. What was it again?
Scaviola.
Scaviola.
That will bloom really good and it will take the wind awesome in sun.
Great.
But then if you want some other, just some different colored leaves, you got licorice. German ivy has a different like texture on the leaf and everything.
That's nice.
But then if you want something dainty that's going to trail, your Silver Falls. It's a nice daintier leaf. It's really pretty when it just fills and it gives you that little accents going down over the side.
Neat. You've got a little story about these two right here. What is this?
Your Martha Washingtons.
Those are geraniums.
They are geraniums, but they will get a lot bigger than your regular geranium.
Okay.
They will get about a foot to 18 inches big.
So like,
it'll be about 3 times bigger than your regular geranium.
So that's great bang for your buck, first of all.
Yes.
Okay.
But the story on these is we haven't had them for over 30 years.
30?
And how we figured that out was my wife didn't know what they were.
And she's never seen them. And you guys have been together for how long?
We've been married over 20.
Okay.
And so she didn't know about them, and so we're like, I gotta get them again.
So why are they making a comeback?
They got a lot more options. They made a lot more colors, and then they're just hardier.
Okay.
But they do amazing.
This is great.
You do have to deadhead them though. That's the one downfall. Any geranium, you still have to deadhead a geranium.
Got it. Now, we have an example of one of these potted plants here.
Yes, that's your sun patient.
Sun patient.
There's about 3 plants in there.
Okay.
And that is still considered small.
I don't believe it, because this is probably like 25 pounds.
Yeah. Nope, that is still considered small, but that will do amazing, and that will get a lot bigger this year.
And then you have the trailer.
Yeah, you got your potato vine right in there. That's going to just keep trailing, get bigger.
Yeah, so they work really well together.
They do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Now you do fertilize, right?
Yes, we recommend we liquid fertilize at least twice a week.
Yeah.
If you can't liquid fertilize, definitely get some slow release and sprinkle some slow release in there, so whenever you water, it's going to give it some more nutrients.
Okay.
If you want your plants to do well, they need the nutrients.
Yeah, they need to be taken care of.
They do.
Okay.
So.
Well, this is awesome. Thanks for the tips, Ben. Come see Ben at Young's Greenhouse in South Paris. I have to get back to the carriage because apparently at midnight something happens, like I turn into something. So I got a jet. Great seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Take care, Ben. Okay, and just to be clear, I didn't actually lose a glass slipper on that shoot. My producer Julie actually bought some sun patients for the first time last summer after hearing about them, and she couldn't believe how big and beautiful they got. She's a fan for life now. Next up, we're going to shift over to Melissa Madigan at Skillin's Greenhouses. Melissa is the mastermind behind hundreds of window boxes and containers every single season. She's got some fantastic tips to help your flowers really stand out. Hey there, everybody. On this Gardening with Gutner, we are covering planters and flower pots and window boxes. And we have the expert at that from Skillin's. This is Melissa Madigan. You do hundreds of these every season, right?
I do, yes.
You spend a lot of time right here.
I do.
This is your workspace.
It is, and it's my favorite place to be in the greenhouse.
So you put this window box together. What were some of the things you were thinking about?
Well, first thing I took into account was what the customer requested.
Okay.
And so usually I have customers make an appointment with me. They come in, they bring their boxes, and then we walk around the yard and the greenhouses, and we pick out what plants they like, what colors they want. We also take into account, do they shade or do they need full sun? This particular planter, we picked out coleus, and this is big leaf begonias, and this is also a coleus, and then here the star kind of is the Torinias.
So how do we get to this point? I mean, let's start from scratch, shall we? So we're going to slide this guy out of the way. See ya. We'll come back to that. And we've got this little
Yes.
potting soil, right?
Right. So we're going to finish putting in the potting soil.
Okay.
You want to get to with about 1/2 inch
From the top?
from the top.
Somewhere in there?
Or a little more, yep, sometimes.
Okay.
Then you're going to put in some fertilizer.
This is the organic stuff
This
you
is
were talking
organic
about.
stuff, yep.
And it's you said about a handful, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And you just spread it
Something like
around.
that?
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just take your hand and you just kind of swirl it in there.
You don't use gloves, do you?
I do not use gloves, no.
I was objecting to that. I'm a big glove guy, but she's like, no, you got to feel the soil.
Yeah, it's just that's the best part of doing this whole thing.
All right, I'll take
yes,
your
my
word
hands
for
are
it.
always dirty, but that's okay.
We're up to the plant part in your selection process. What are you thinking about here?
So when I was picking these plants, I wanted to do a full sun pot
Okay.
planter. And so I just kind of thought about the colors. I look at the plants that I happen to be attracted to
Yeah.
and like and ones that I just really like my go-to.
Keep going back to, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
So
do. Some
what's the
favorites.
first one you want to
So
start
the first
with?
one, this one is called Angelonia.
It's really pretty.
It is very pretty.
Okay. And you want this to be the star.
Yes, that's
Okay.
the middle of the pot.
All
Yep,
right,
that's
so
the middle.
Pop her right there.
Yep. So
All
that's one of my thrillers.
right. Okay, it's a thriller.
It's
Got
a
it.
thriller. So we're going to put in these daisies.
Okay.
Yep.
Right next to it.
Right next to it.
And you're a big fan of keeping things uniform and balanced.
Yes. It's kind of a thing.
Don't make that mistake. I almost did earlier. Unbalanced.
Balance. And so then this is lavender.
Ah, you're putting herbs in here.
I do.
All right.
Many times I'll throw an herb in there just because it adds a little extra.
I don't want to
gives some
misplace
scent.
this. Where would you
Okay,
put
so
it?
why don't we put him over here because he's going to get tall.
Got it.
And then we'll put another one on this side.
For balance, okay.
Yeah, for balance.
Next up,
Next up would be our spillers.
spiller.
And so we're going to put this. This is a Calipicola or mini Supertunia.
It sounded like capicola. It just made me hungry for a second. I was thinking of an Italian sandwich, but it's not capicola.
No, it's not. It's Calipicola.
Calipicola.
Yeah.
All right.
And then one there. And then in the center we can put,
That's pretty.
yes, this is Sweet Alyssum. This is the
Sweet
proven
Alyssum.
winner one of it. The proven winner one of these. It will grow all summer, hot sun, and it gives you this wonderful scent.
Really?
Yep.
So this has a smell to it, huh?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, it is. And
Huh.
so you just plant it and you can
Okay.
just walk by and you put these
What's
guys.
this called?
This is a vinca vine.
Vinca vine. All right.
And you just put those in the corners and there
There
you
you
go.
go. Okay, so now, through the magic of editing, we are going to make this look like a beautiful, beautiful window box. And voila! Look at this, it's beautiful.
Thank you. So here we have our thrillers.
Yeah.
We have our fillers, which is the Calipicola and the Sweet Alyssum, and they're also spillers because they get very big, very full. So you want to give them plenty of space to grow. And then we have our vinca vine. Okay, so Todd, we're going to move from window boxes to containers.
Got it.
Great decorating source for your yard, and we're going to start with this big one. What I've put in here already is an alocasia,
Okay.
which loves shade, but it's a great one for a starter for a shade planter.
And this is a house plant, right?
This is a houseplant, yes. But if you put it in the nice deep shade of your yard, it'll be very happy all summer. Houseplants love to be outside in the summer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So just like with the window boxes, you fill this up, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's more soil in there.
All right.
That topped off.
A little fertilizer.
Put some fertilizer in there.
This is the organic stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Boom.
Yep, we'll mix that around.
And now you select the plants that are going in. What are we choosing this time?
This is a fuchsia. And this is going to go in here in the tuck this guy right in there for a little pop of color.
Love it.
Under all that green. Then for some more color, we're going to put these coleus. And these coleus have the funniest name. They are called Mini Me Watermelon.
Who names these things?
I don't know. There's that one there.
right.
Then we'll put some of this limelight in the front here to come down as our...
That'll cascade.
They'll cascade down, and then we can fill in with a different assortment of coleus.
Great.
They're all different colors.
And once again, our incredible editing department comes up with this as a final product. And there it is. Beautiful. I love how you tied together the flower with the leaves. The colors are almost identical. Melissa, thank you so much. Planters, window boxes, now you know. If you have any suggestions for Gardening with Gutner, we have this insanely long email address. I'm not even going to tell you what it is because I'll mess it up, but you can see it on the bottom of your screen. And we'll see you next time on Gardening with Gutner. Oh yeah, don't forget, keep your growing going.
Get your growing going.
That too. Get your growing going.
Melissa, where can you get a good Capicola Italian around here?
Finally, we get tropical. Now you might be thinking, Maine, tropical plants? No way. Well, surprise, they're not only doable, but hardy and low maintenance too. We visited Young's tropical greenhouse where Catherine Young showed us some stunning options that can bring that tropical vibe to your home. I was told you'd be with the mandevillas, Catherine.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite annuals. They bloom all summer for you, and you get all kinds of blooms on them.
They're so pretty.
And they can actually go into October as well.
Seriously?
So yeah, they can take a little bit of a frost.
Oh my gosh.
So that's great.
Well, speaking of frost, I mean, Maine is a cold climate most of the time. Why are Mainers even thinking about tropical plants?
So tropicals are actually one of your easiest annuals to take care of because they can take drought and they can take overwatering. Like you could go away for a vacation, a mini vacation, and come back and, you know, they'd still be fine.
They're fine. They're almost impossible to kill?
Yeah. Well, no,
Not quite.
Not impossible.
So mandevilla is one of your favorites. You have others too?
Yes.
All right.
So this is the Diplodenia bush. It's in the family of the mandevillas, but it's more of a bush form mandevilla.
So it's not going to vine out and get all wiry?
It's going to stay more compact.
Okay.
Yeah.
This actually attracts hummingbirds?
It does, yeah. The trumpet light flower, it just has a deep throat, so the hummingbirds definitely like them a lot.
Super cool.
These are the hibiscus. It's a double hibiscus. We have single hibiscus too, but this one's a double one. Lots of different colors. They're a large blossom.
Huge.
They're so pretty, and they have all kinds of blossoms all over them all summer long.
They don't have a very strong fragrance.
They don't. The other thing that we have, which you can't beat the fragrance of, is your gardenia.
Oh, I know the fragrance of our gardenia. My senior prom date, Jill Gale, I put a corsage and it was a gardenia, and it's amazing. They're so fragrant. How about caring for the flowers?
In order to keep them blossoming really, really well all summer long, and just to keep that vibrant green color, you definitely want to fertilize them. And you really want to use liquid fertilizer.
Is that just better for something?
It's just better if you do liquid fertilizer each week. You can do the slow release, but it's always better to be controlling how much you fertilize the plants themselves.
I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable because of that guy right there.
Well, we can head over to the avocados. I've heard you like those.
Can we do that ASAP?
Yes.
Catherine, ASAP. Catherine, my daughter loves avocado toast.
Well, we could save you some money. You could bring home a tree and grow your own.
You're speaking my language now, Catherine. I just can't believe this is an avocado tree.
Yeah.
Are they hard to care for?
They're actually really low maintenance. I mean, you have it outside during the summertime, it will grow great for you, and then bring it in during the winter and just put it in the most sunny spot of your house.
Okay.
And just don't overwater it.
And these are all edible?
Yeah, they are. Just, they won't ripen when they're actually on there. You have to pick them in order for them to ripen.
Oh, got it, okay.
These are my favorite hangers. They are the ferns, and they just don't require a lot of maintenance, a lot of sun. I have a covered porch that hardly gets any sun at all. And they do well there. They get huge all summer long.
What about caring for it? I picture like this mister that's constantly going.
No, you hardly have to water them. I'll leave them for like a week and then maybe water them, and they're perfectly fine.
Okay.
You could bring them inside too during the winter time. I mean, because they don't need a lot of sun. They don't need a lot of water, so they would really do well in the house.
Great
too.
houseplant.
Yeah.
So this is the elephant ear for obvious reasons.
Yes, it is. It's a great houseplant.
Okay.
You can also have it outside during the summertime. Looks good at a pool, anywhere outside. But if you don't have space for it during the winter time,
it's huge.
Right,
Makes
it
sense.
can get really big. You can take it right inside, and then you want to chop it off like right about there.
Okay.
And you want to just make sure that you put it in a cool, dry spot, like in a root cellar.
Cellar, right?
Yep, or a heated garage or something that's cool. You just don't want it to get a frost. I mean, you don't want it to freeze.
Yeah.
And then once it gets to springtime and it gets warm again and the sun is shining, put it in a sunny spot and it will grow right back.
And it'll just
for
grow
you.
right back.
Yeah.
That's an awesome frugal tip, and I'm a huge frugal guy. I love it. And I also love your tropical connection. I was a big tropical fan before I came here, even bigger now. Come see the collection here at Young's. You'll love it. And we'll see you next time on Gardening with Gutner.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Did you catch that Indiana Jones moment? Well, I'm obviously no Harrison Ford. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you picked up some great ideas as you start planning your annuals, containers, and hangers for the upcoming season. Gardening with Gutner is just getting started. We've already been out shooting segments and we'll be with you all summer long. Catch us Saturday and Monday mornings on News Center Maine, starting Memorial Day weekend. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. It's at Gardening with Gutner. We post tons of behind-the-scenes reels there as we work through the season, and get your growing going with Gardening with Gutner.